Good morning and welcome to the show. This is In Touch, and I am Beth Christie, your hostess. In Touch is our weekly half-hour public affairs show, which means that if you are a member of a nonprofit group or organization, if you are a company here in the Hudson Valley that is helping out a nonprofit group, an organization, whether through membership, whether through getting information out, or raising money for them, we'd love to have you on the show. If it's about nonprofits and helping out folks here in the Hudson Valley, we want to help you spread the word. So let me tell you that this program is pre-recorded. If there are any websites or phone numbers, please know that you can go to whatever station you're listening to today. You can go to the website, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can search In Touch, and we will have a copy of this interview and links to all of that information in the post. So we are doing this via phone line because it makes things easier on crazy days. And let me tell you who we have with us. We have Jennifer DeFrancesco. She is the Executive Director of Hudson Valley Honor Flight. So Jennifer, thank you very much for being willing to put yourself behind the microphone or behind the phone, as it were, today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I think that I'm excited that you're on the show. And as we spoke yesterday, we are excited about a big event that's coming up to the Hudson Valley, and that is the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest. It's 3 days, July 6th, 7th, and 8th, at Barton Orchards in Poughkeepsie. And while we, throughout the course of this interview, are certainly going to talk about all the things that are going on and the balloon launches and the fireworks and the food and the fun, this year's charity for the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Festival is Hudson Valley Honor Flight, and a portion of the event proceeds are going to be donated to your group. So I thought, you know what? People may not know what Honor Flight is, or they may think they do, and maybe it's not right, or maybe people are like, wait a second, this is amazing. This is great. So, Jennifer, that's what I kind of wanted to talk about today. So bring us up to speed with Honor Flight. You know, a little bit of a history or a mission statement, however you would like to start.
Okay, well, Hudson Valley Honor Flight is a local nonprofit, and we currently are taking World War II and Korean War veterans on a chartered plane down to Washington, D.C. to visit their memorials. Our organization got started in 2012 with one flight that year, and each subsequent year we have increased the number of flights that we take. I'm proud to say, all of us at Hudson Valley Honor Flight are proud that we currently have taken over 1,500 veterans on 20 flights.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over almost 1,100 World War II veterans, 450 Korean War, and 9 terminally ill Vietnam veterans. So that's in a nutshell what our mission is. We have recently seen an increase in our World War II applications, so obviously that generation gets priority with getting on a flight, followed by the Korean War. Our plan is to keep our mission going and honor all of our nation's veterans. So when that time comes, we will move on to the Vietnam era.
So let me ask you this. You said it's commercial flights.
It's actually, no, it's not commercial.
No, it's not commercial.
Our organization, we charter a plane. We fly out of 2 different airports. We fly out of Stewart Airport in Newburgh, and we fly out of Westchester County Airport. And we charter a plane. We take the entire plane, and depending on which airport we're flying out of will depend on the number of veterans that we can take on each flight.
Wow. Okay. See, every time, I didn't tell you this beforehand, every time I always learn something every time I do a show. Every time. There is something about there's a lot of amazing organizations here in the Hudson Valley. And today, this morning, is no exception. So when you charter the flight, are you on the flight? Are volunteers? Can they bring family members with them or someone maybe to help them get around?
So how our program works is every veteran is assigned a guardian. That guardian can be a family member, such as a child, a grandchild, a niece, or nephew.
Right.
We do have a lot of volunteers that sign up to go as guardians. Depending on the safety or medical needs of the veteran will depend on whether it's one-on-one, or sometimes we can do 2 veterans to 1 guardian, which will allow us to take more of the veterans on the flight.
Right.
We also have a flight team. So when we arrive down in Washington, D.C., we are assigned to buses to get us from area to area to area. And we have bus leaders, we have flight leaders, we have safety people that are on each bus just to make sure that everything, any of the needs of the veteran is met. So it's a lot of volunteers.
But that's tremendous, because especially for, like you said, the World War II and the age of these gentlemen and women is getting up there. I was trying to think of it, but it's getting up there.
It is getting up there.
To have something like this, to not have to worry about how to figure out to get on the airport and rush and all that can add stress. And then when you get to Washington, D.C., to know that there's volunteers on the buses, there's someone that's going to help you get around. So you guys really are not just getting them on the plane and getting them there. You really are getting them there and taking care of them the entire way.
We are. As a group, we try to think and plan of every need. We bring enough wheelchairs that are needed for each flight, plus extras in case something changes throughout the day. If there's a veteran that can't go up and down the stairs to get on and off the bus, all the buses have lifts, and we will divide them up so that we can get them on and off the buses quickly. So we try to be prepared and ready for every circumstance.
Wow. So let me ask you this, in terms of, because obviously we talked about the fact that the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest at Barton Orchards, July 6th, 7th, and 8th, part of the proceeds is going to benefit you guys. What is one trip cost? Like, because someone's probably doing the math going, okay, hang on a second, how can I help? What can I do? So what's kind of an average cost?
On an average, I would say probably about $90,000. It's to charter these planes, the cost is up there. The busing for Washington, D.C., and just everything else that goes into the day. When we arrive down there, they're given lunch. When we first arrive to the buses, we do a sit-down dinner before heading back home. So all of this cost, it adds up.
I have to tell you, most things don't make me speechless, but this is because, when you talk about that they're being fed and there's a sit-down dinner, and it's not like a hurry up, get on the plane, hurry up, get on the bus, hurry up, see the memorial, and then we got to rush back.
No, it's not. The day actually starts with a rally point where all of the veterans and the guardians need to check in. They will be given a T-shirt that they need to wear for the day as well as a name tag. When we arrive at the airport, we have a pre-flight ceremony before we go through TSA.
Wow.
The planes will be decorated for them. Arriving in Washington, like I said, we have lunch. While we're in Washington, we will go to the World War II Memorial. We will go to Arlington for the changing of the guard. And then we go to the Lincoln Memorial, where we will take a group photo of the veterans. And from there, they can decide if they want to go to the Korean War Memorial or the Vietnam. Depending on the flight, sometimes they may have time to do both. And then, like I said, we do the sit-down dinner. And it's a nice time for them to just be amongst their peers,
right,
and share their stories.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because I would think that this would be quite an emotional day for them.
It is. It is emotional. Many times we've heard from family members that have gone as guardians that they've never heard the stories that they hear their father or their mother telling that day. There's something about them being amongst each other, another soldier that knows what they went through, that lets them open up. So emotional day. It's a happy day, but it's an emotional day as well.
I love the fact, too, that you guys, that the word honor flight, the word honor is not just in name only. Everything that you guys have thought out, from having a ceremony before you get on the plane, to having the plane decorated, to allowing these individuals who served our country time to relive and maybe even heal or just share stories. All of that is honoring the individual for what they did for us.
Absolutely. It's so amazing to see on flight day just how they are greeted, not just from our volunteers, but even when we arrive at Washington, they are greeted. And I have to say, especially for the World War II and the Korean War generation, so many times I've heard them say that they feel that what they accomplished for our country is getting lost on the youth of today. And so many times to see young children, grade school or middle school age children, go up to thank them for their service or to shake their hand, is the expression on their face is priceless.
We talk about that a lot. I mean, I talk about my brother is a veteran. My uncle was a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran of World War II. And, in our family and we talk about the fact that the freedoms that we enjoy did not come free.
They did not.
People paid the ultimate price. People paid with their life. They paid with enduring what they had to endure. And like you said, sometimes family members never knew the stories, never knew what their grandfather or uncle or whoever, what they went through. To me, when you have those stories and when you see the memorial, it's something, it's tangible. You can grab a hold of. It's something that you can keep. And I feel like that, like you said, that they feel like that's getting lost. And I do too, because it's not automatic. You don't get these freedoms just because you want them. You get them because you fought for them.
Yes, we totally agree. And another aspect of it also is when you listen to their stories and you talk to them, what you're learning from them, you can't read about in a history book.
Right.
It's so different to hear it from their perspective.
Yes, they come at it from knowing what it was like, what the battle was like, what the conditions were, what was the mindset even,
Absolutely.
going there and fighting. So, Jennifer, let me ask you this question. Knowing that you said the average cost of one of these trips is $90,000, how can we as a community here in the Hudson Valley make sure that you guys can continue what you're doing, to continue to have these moments to honor our veterans? What do you guys need?
Our organization relies solely on donations. We're lucky enough that we have our platinum sponsor, which is ShopRite Supermarkets.
Right.
They have been with us since the first flight, and they still continue to support us. Without ShopRite, there would be no Hudson Valley Honor Flight.
Wow.
And not just with their donations, but just their help all around. So there's, to cover the rest of it is solely just donations from the community. Sponsorships. We have, in November, we will have our big fundraiser. November 18th, we call it the Lunch of Honor. That's really our one big fundraiser for the year. Typically, it's anywhere from 900 to 1,000 people that attend.
Wow.
All of our veterans that have been on a flight before can come for free. So it's just, like I said, we rely heavily on our community to keep us going and to keep our mission going.
So where can people, is there a website? Because like I said, I can link to it in the article around this interview.
Absolutely. Our website is www.hvhonorflight.com. And there will be plenty of information on there on how to help us find veterans. Our applications are on there for veterans and guardians. And there's all the information regarding upcoming events. We and upcoming flight dates. We do have other organizations that will fundraise for us.
Right.
We have, the Orange County Superintendents Association doing a golf outing for us. We have a group that does a huge concert, America the Beautiful concert, which is on July 28th in Goshen. So we do have other groups that will fundraise for us.
Which is tremendous, and that gives everyone who's listening an idea. So me, I'm always like, I always tell people, you don't have to give thousands and thousands of dollars. But if everybody listening, if everybody in the Hudson Valley gave $1, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
And I always, for me, I don't know, my own life, it always helps me if I break things down into manageable things, into manageable steps. When you talk about that, I love the idea that organizations, if you have an organization that is looking to do something and you want to know how to impact the Hudson Valley, then I would suggest that you take a look at Honor Flight. Now, Jennifer, one thing you mentioned that leads to a question, an application for the veterans. If someone is listening and they're going, well, what are they looking for? Is it a tough application to fill out? What do I need to do?
It's not a tough application. There's actually 2 versions on our website. They can either fill one out directly online, or they can print one, fill it out, and then mail it in, and all of our information will be on the website.
Okay.
Both the veterans and the guardians need to fill out the applications.
Okay, that's easy enough. So, Jennifer, let me ask you this. Have you been to a hot air balloon festival before? Is this your first one going to be going, or have you been before?
I have never been.
Okay, so you're going to be there on the weekend.
I wish I could.
Oh, but someone will be there, right?
Someone,
so,
yes. We will have people there for sure.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Did not mean to put you on the spot. There's no problem with that because that's in the middle of vacation season. I get it. But so if folks are coming to the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest, they will be able to get some information.
Absolutely.
Great. That's great.
Absolutely. And what we ask of the community, as is to help us get the word out and help us find more veterans. Our mission is to honor as many as we can. Our fall flight is going to be October 6th, and that will be at a Stewart Airport in Newburgh, so very close to Dutchess County. We've been seeing an increase in our veterans coming from Dutchess County, so we need people to spread the word, and if they see a veteran in the grocery store wearing their hat that they all like to wear, ask them if they've been on an honor flight, and just let them know what our organization is about.
You know what, I was going to ask you if there are dates that you already have set up for flights. So you've just answered that. So there's a fall flight, so people can now make sure you fill out the application for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So at the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest, as people are coming in, obviously there are tickets. There's admission tickets. And as we talked about at the beginning, a portion of those proceeds are going to be given to Hudson Valley Honor Flight. So I just want to run this down pretty quick. Admission tickets, if you get them in advance, they're $7. They're $10 at the gate. Now, active military, veterans, police, fire, and EMS are going to get special $5 pricing all weekend long. Okay, so you're saving money. There's also some ticket upgrade packages because there's beer sampling on Saturday. There's craft soda sampling on Sunday. So keep that in mind. And again, anytime when you're buying your admission tickets, balloon rides, etc., a portion of the proceeds are going to go to Hudson Valley Honor Flight. And there's balloon rides which you are able to purchase, which you don't always often get to do. And Jennifer, like I said, if you'd been in a balloon festival, I was lucky enough to do a balloon festival at the station. I worked at a country station in Northwest Pennsylvania, and I actually got to go up in a hot air balloon, and I thought I was going to completely freak out. I thought, this may not go well. And I warned everybody. It was the most amazing experience. You look down, and it just looked like you were looking at a model railroad, exhibit where you could just kind of pick up the cars and move them,
Wow.
kind of a thing. And the funny thing is, they tell you when you land that you kind of have to make sure that you get down in the basket, right? Because the basket may tip over. You don't want your head above the basket, right? No problem. So our basket, they said, sometimes it can bump a little bit. Well, the basket I was in, no lie, we landed in a field of daisies.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. We touched down, we lifted up, we floated, we touched down, we lifted up, we floated. It was amazing. I was like, this is the most beautiful experience. Now, my boss at the time, he was on another balloon. So we were going to meet up at the end. And I look at him and he's filthy. He's completely filthy. And I look at him and I'm like, what happened? Apparently, that balloon got drugged through a cow pasture.
Oh my God.
So to this day, he's not impressed that I landed in a field of daisies, and he, let's just say, did not. But anyway.
That's hysterical.
So I'm just saying that it's an amazing thing, and those tickets are for sale, right, at EmpireStateHotAirBalloonFest.com. And again, I'm going to say this over and over. You guys are going to be tired of hearing it, but a portion of the proceeds go to help out the Hudson Valley Honor Flight. There's also fireworks that are going to be happening at the Hot Air Balloon Fest. It's all at Barton Orchards. It's in Poughkeepsie. And the Bubble Bus, which is huge, which kids absolutely adore. Talk about like 1,000, 5,000 bubbles like you've never seen. That's going to be there both Saturday and Sunday. There's hay rides. There's all kinds of activities. There's 15 different bands that are going to be there with live music. There are food trucks. There's the dog park. There's a petting zoo. There is a shooting gallery. There's a wooden ships playground. There's gem mining. There's duck races. There's a fun park. There are adult pedal carts. There is going to be a gigantic bounce pad, a rope maze. So this is, and Jennifer's going, man, I got to reschedule my vacation.
Yeah,
no,
really?
I'm telling you, this is the place to be. It is, once again, the Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest. It's going to be July 6th, 7th, and 8th at Barton Orchards in Poughkeepsie. And a part of the proceeds go to benefit Hudson Valley Honor Flight. So, Jennifer, we talked about, that the monies that you guys have really are based on donations. And I'm also impressed with the fact that you do one big fundraiser, because sometimes people are like, oh, there's just too many fundraisers. So you guys really have looked at everything.
We have. It's, like I said, we started in 2012, and now in 2018, we have things running pretty smoothly. Hopefully we can continue it. That's our plan.
Yes, and hopefully that's what we want to do. That's the purpose of the show this morning is, asking what you need from the community. And I like the fact that you said, let veterans know. Not all veterans may know about this, and they may be missing out on an opportunity that they thought that they would never get.
Exactly. And sometimes with the older veterans, a lot of times like we spoke about earlier, the concern about mobility and special needs, and that's, they should still reach out to us because we can handle a lot of that.
That's very powerful, because that can be overwhelming for family members as well.
Absolutely.
Right. They're going to be by themselves. They're in the airport. How do you figure out the wheelchair? And you guys know this. You guys have done this. Like you said, you guys come prepared. There's plenty of wheelchairs. There's people there. And depending on medical situations, whether there's one guardian for a veteran or maybe two veterans and one guardian, I love the fact that you guys have really thought this through to, honor and respect, and to not make this a stressful event for the veterans, but really a generous and a gracious day for the veterans. That's really powerful.
It is, and what's so powerful at the end of the day, just the expression on their face, and so many of them saying it's one of the best days of their lives.
Oh.
And they just want that day to keep going.
Oh.
Then when we hear that, we know that we succeeded and we did good.
Let me ask you this as we are getting ready. Believe it or not, we're almost out of time. I know at the beginning you were like, 30 minutes, but it goes pretty fast.
It goes quick.
If someone is interested in donating or having their organization do a benefit, who would they contact? Is it website, a phone number? What's their best first step for them?
The information is on our website. They would contact me. our phone number, our the email, all of that is on the website.
Okay.
But absolutely, they can reach out, and I will be glad to give them the information needed to make a donation.
Okay, and like you mentioned before, if there are veterans listening or people who know of veterans, the applications are on the website as well.
Yes, they are.
So everything is there. Jennifer, any closing comments, final thoughts that you would like to leave with folks this morning?
Well, I would like to thank Barton and this event, and thinking of Hudson Valley Honor Flight as the charitable organization. We are so grateful to everyone who supports our mission. So we would just like to say thank you so much. And I would like to say, I hope everyone has a great time at this event and go out and help us find some more veterans.
I know. That's beautiful. Jennifer, thank you so much for the work that you do that we don't even know about. All the stuff that you do to make sure that our veterans really have an amazing day. And to your volunteers, like you said, it's volunteers. And you guys, I mean, my hat is off to you. This is tremendous what you do. And thank you for being willing to put yourself behind the phone on this.
Well, thank you so much, Beth.
No problem. So the event, once again, is Empire State Hot Air Balloon Fest. It is going to be July 6th, 7th, and 8th at Barton Orchards. And the part of the proceeds go to benefit Hudson Valley Honor Flight. Tickets are on sale now. If you get them beforehand, they're $7. They're $10 at the gate. And active military, veterans, police, fire, and EMS all will receive special $5 pricing all weekend long. You can also upgrade to your ticket package to include the beer sampling on Saturday, the craft soda sampling on Sunday, and there are balloon rides. And again, part of the proceeds of all this, the entire weekend, is going to go to Hudson Valley Honor Flight. Take care of yourself and those you love, and we will talk with you next week.